Hey guys, welcome back to Taste of Victory. We got such an exciting video for you today because the user EvilSir has updated Digimon card game Chronobattle Online Simulator with the Booster Set 2 and Structure Decks 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to be playing Purple today. I'll have a picture at the end of the video of the deck list. And if you guys would like, this should be buildable with our current card pool right now. And if not, it will be full in February, so I could do a deck breakdown in the next video. But for now, let's get straight to the gameplay because there's also some UI changes and quality of life bug fixes. So let's look at everything that's changed. It's amazing. Okay, so we found a game here. I won the rock, paper, scissors start of the game. So I am going first. Let's go ahead and hatch our Digitama, our Digi-Egg, revealing Pagumon. When attacking, discard the top card of your deck. We do have quite a few good rookies to go into here right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into our Tapirmon. So get that ready for next turn. Go ahead and swing with it. And then I will play our Devimon to start them off with only 2 memory. So I'm not sure what our opponent is playing right now because, okay, so it's random. So I'm just asking in the Discord. But yeah, our opponent is playing green. So this is a pretty fair matchup. Like, it's not one-sided in any way like some matchups could be in the game. So he revealed his Tanemon, and then he digivolved his Tentomon, and he played his Palamon, revealing the top 3 cards, and he gets to add 1 level 4 Digimon from them. He grabbed Kabuterimon, which is a 1-cost evolution, which is fantastic because that is pure value for green. You get to digivolve into a champion for only 1 memory. I'm going to go ahead and move. We're going to try to start rookie rushing him. Going to attack security with Tapirmon, trying to get that destruction effect to draw off 1, and we do get it off, thankfully. So we fill up our trash and we get the draw. We get another Tapirmon basically to replace the one we just lost, which is fantastic. So what I'm thinking is I am going to digivolve into my blocker this turn. So any early swings he tries to go for, I can just block him, but we also get to choke him at 1 memory, which means he has very little he can do. He can digivolve into Kabuterimon because the thing is, green is the color you most want to leave with as little memory as possible. 1 ideally if you can, because of cards like that, because of Kabuterimon, they can digivolve so fast. So my opponent, I'm assuming he might not have the best of hands, so he wants to digivolve into Togemon instead to reveal the top 3 cards, get a level 5 or more, and I don't believe he got a single one, so they're all going to the bottom of their deck, unfortunately. I'm assuming he's trying to like unbrick a hand or get to some mega because maybe that's what he's missing. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, so I'm going to go ahead and digivolve into. I don't see any champions in my hand to digivolve Gabumon into to use its inheritable. So to not even worry about that, I'm just going to digivolve for free into Impmon, get that free draw off of it. I'm going to leave our blocker out on the field because it's still versatile and helpful. So we only have 3 cards in trash, unfortunately. So Beelzemon can't come out. I do have the combo here on into Beelzemon because Beelzemon's effect, if there's 10 or more in trash, I could skip all the levels and just go straight from Impmon to Beelzemon, referencing its anime Warp Digivolution. But unfortunately, my trash is not at 10, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the Rookie Rush strategy and play Tapirmon. Playing Tapirmon specifically because that draw is fantastic, and because I don't have any champions to digivolve Gabumon into, its effect doesn't really matter too much because of that, so it's not the most optimal play. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and go into Tapirmon. We let him off with only 2 memory, which we do know he has Kabuterimon in hand, so he could make quite a few plays this turn because that only costs 1 memory to digivolve into that champion Digimon. And there it is, he digivolves his Tentomon into Kabuterimon. For every one of your opponent's rest Digimon, it gains plus 1000 TP, and he'll pass turn to me with Lilymon, I believe leaving me off at 1 memory? Yes. Okay, so Lilymon's effect is also great. It's a heritable effect, lets you rest one of your opponent's Digimon without blocker. But we don't see any blockers on the field right now, so I'm just going to try rookie rushing him. I'm going to start off with Impmon, get 4 cards if this gets deleted, which it does, because the inheritable Pagu discards the top card of your deck, and then 3 off of Impmon. Okay, so we're 1 away, so let's hope this Tapirmon dies to security, because then I get to draw 1, and I fill up my trash, and it does. So not only is my opponent at 2 security, we are really running away with the match. Now I also have the cards to play Beelzemon. He still has Togemon on the field too, and Tentomon. So even if he does digivolve Togemon, we could at least get rid of Tentomon if he digivolves it or doesn't. He does bring out the Titamon though, so that is scary. So my worry is that he might, with its inheritable effect, he'll rest and then attack over my Impmon. That is the worry for me, which would be a good idea for my opponent's half, because then he doesn't have to worry about Beelzemon potentially coming out, especially since its only other Digimon on the field are level 4 or lower, so Beelzemon would have a huge impact on the board state coming out like that. Alright, My opponent went ahead and did that. He's resolving all his effects. I will not block, because if he does decide to aim at my Mon, I will be able to block it. Really, anything else that he decides to attack with, I can block, thankfully. He does attack security, reveals my blocker Violmon. Doesn't do anything because he's swinging for 14,000 DP. Alright, so it's my opponent's passes turn to me. I'm going to hatch. Only rookie I have left is Gabumon, so I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve anyways, despite now that I do have some champions and I get the free draw off. Okay, so we can Digivolve into Beelzemon now. Destroying some of the Digimon on the field, starting them off with 3 memory. I'm trying to see what we have here. Problem is that he would just be able to swing over it with Titamon. So I'm trying to see if it would be better maybe to play Paidmon, because even if we do give him all that memory, he doesn't have too much removal. I can't, because I'm at 1 memory of right. So do I even want to do this as the thing for me? Because I think it might actually be giving him too much memory. He doesn't even do too much for me. Especially since he can just rest and attack over it. I don't think there's a need to get fancy, because with my Digimon in the security area next turn, I could just go ahead and attack. So we don't need to overextend by going into him or anything like that, so we're just going to go ahead and attack security. His effect does go off, discard the top 3. And then I am just going to play... yeah, I'll just play Wizardmon. Start him off with 3 memory. More than I would appreciate, but it is what it is. And if he does decide to rest Wizardmon and attack over it with one of his champions, that's 1 less going on my security. And considering he has only 1 left, unless he has some kind of removal ready right now, then this will be game. So let's see what my opponent can do. And he does have that, so he will be able to attack over my blocker, unfortunately. But I do have 4 security, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 security, I thought I was at 5, so I'm not as worried now. So I'm assuming Titamon's about to attack security, and then the other 2 will go ahead and attack over my other Digimon. Yep. Rest my other Digimon, assuming he's attacking security now. He's going to swing for 14,000 DP because of the boost from Tanyamon and Kabuterimon. So he does attack my blocker. That is what he wanted to go with. Now he's going to try to clear my board, which is fine with me, because then if he does decide to attack security, he's only getting 1 next turn. And with no blockers, I could just take out his Titamon, so I'm not as worried. He could go ahead and attack security. That leaves me with 3, though, and then he has 3 Digimon next turn, so he can't even swing for game next turn. And now he can't at all because he loses it. So at best, he gets me down to 0 security, but it would still need something to deliver the final blow, which he won't have anymore. Okay. So my opponent is at 0 memory. This next play is crucial. He could potentially leave me off with only 2 if he Digivolves into an ultimate, which is most likely what's going to happen, which is more than he's been giving me for most of the game. I'm sure he doesn't even want to leave me with that, because you know Purple can do some crazy stuff and remove his Digimon. And the thing is, if he does give me 2, which he does, I could go into Piedmon. Just bring out a bunch of blockers and not have to worry about anything next turn. And then Piedmon himself is a Vengeance Digimon, so that would basically be game. Like, he could just Flower Cannon it over and over, but he only has 3 Digimon, so it's not like he would attack over everything. So I am just going to attack at security. Yeah, I will just attack security to make sure it's gotten rid of for next turn. Go ahead and trash all that stuff, so that's fine, and I don't mind. So I will now play Paidmon. And him being a Vengeance effect, I could take out his Titamon next turn if I'm worried about it. And because of all the blockers in my trash, I could stall for turn long enough to attack the game next turn. Yep, 2 blockers in my trash. I will play them. And now with 3 Digimon on the field, I will be able to block 2 of them. And if you rest them, he will still have to waste... if you rest them with Flower Cannon, he'll still have to waste attacks swinging into them to get rid of them. And again, this is still only 3 Digimon on the field, so he cannot attack for game. He can only bring me down to 0 security, so unless he runs over all these Digimon right now, there is nothing he could do next turn. And the thing is, he does absolutely have the ability to run over all these Digimon right now, because he has 10 memory. He has more than enough to Flower Cannon each and every one of these. Really, you only need 1 Flower Cannon, and the rest comes from Titamon's Heritable effect. Or you can even Digivolve that Lilymon and have another version of the Heritable effect. Well, actually no, because she cannot rest the blockers. So that was a strange play, in my opinion. I would have rested one of the blockers if I were him, since Lilymon can rest everything but blockers. So Strange. So he does have 10,000 security. He does have the inheritable effect to boost him to 11,000 attack over my Piedmon. I'm not going to let that happen because I have 2 blockers on the field. So if he does swing into my Digimon, he's just wasting attacks if we go into security. I'm going to block it regardless, so my Piedmon is safe for next turn. I could just destroy his Titamon if I'm worried about it. Alright, so that's that. My Piedmon is safe. And I could just block next turn. I wonder if he's realizing that, like he should have rested one of the blockers since Lilymon's inheritable would have rested Titamon anyways. In this case, I don't know if he's planning something, like maybe he has Terror Cluster in his hand and he's baiting me with these attacks. But right now, my biggest concern is keeping Piedmon safe, because I need to keep 1 Digimon on the field at least to be able to swing for game next turn. So that's what these blockers are here for, you know, that's what they're there for, to block all these attacks. I am going to use them. Alright, so as long as we keep this 1 Digimon on the field, we can win it. But I have lost games like this before where I'm trying to keep my guy protected long enough to swing for game next turn, and all my opponent needs is 1 Gaia Force, which he has enhanced, spends the whole memory, and that 1 extra turn was all he needed to buy him time. So he does Digivolve into a blocker, which is unfortunate and not what we wanted to see, because now he can stall long enough for it to be his game next turn. So this only adds level 4 Digimon from the top of your deck, so I don't know if he got that. No, he didn't, yeah. So I wasn't sure what the first card he revealed was. It was Titamon, so that all goes to the bottom of the deck, and it just Digivolves into Togemon. Trying to dig for a level 5 or higher Digimon, probably the Lilymon. And he does get Titamon and Puppetmon, so he could add one of those 2 that he chooses. And he chooses Puppetmon, presumably for its on-play effect to stall for another turn. So we're going to go ahead and hatch, even though I don't have any rookies to Digivolve into, unfortunately. Cannot attack for game here either because he has a blocker on field, which really sucks. It's really hoping we wouldn't be able to go into that. If I attack, he could just destroy it next turn. I have no rookie, so he may have been able to outvalue me here and stall out for the game. Especially now that he has Puppetmon in hand, so he definitely doesn't have to worry about it. I have no blockers I can hardcast. I can't play Piedmon to stall again for a couple more turns. So I'm just going to attack security since I don't really think there's anything with this hand I can do to squeak out a win here, so that just goes in his favor, then he can just attack next turn. So I'm just gonna play. I'm thinking Devimon, because at least then I get Vengeance one of his threats next turn. Wow, so I was paying attention to the timer, but I didn't realize how low I had gotten even then. 1 second left on the timer before I finished my turn, so that was cool. Okay, so yeah, so that should be a game, because, well, if he does decide to take a turn to attack my Piedmon, I get Vengeance anyways, so he won't attack security, which would leave me with 1 extra. He can't attack the game this turn unless he does something like play Puppetmon. So I don't know if he's attacking security or what, but he gets 1 memory off of Puppetmon, so he has a lot of options right now. He could rest my Devimon, but I mean, again, if he wants to swing into my rested Digimon, he's just ruining his board. So that's basically kind of what I have to bank on, that we want to remove my board without remembering what Vengeance does. I believe it's Retaliation in the English version too, by the way, so sorry if that's confusing for anyone who's been watching this whole time. Alright, so he does that. I get Vengeance off of him, so now he has less memory. Now he has less board presence to attack at security. So whatever he attacks with, he's going down to 1. If he attacks my Devimon, he's going down to 1 thing on the field. Which the thing is, like, that's what he has to do, because otherwise he loses the next turn, but all he has is a Titamon, so it takes some way more turns now to be able to win by chipping away my security. So I may have just bought myself enough time by doing that, especially if I reveal. I don't have anything high enough DP to get over that Titamon right now. It's literally completely safe because Trump Sword only works on Digimon that are unsuspended, so 100% safe. No worry of dying to security. Don't have to worry about it. But if he reveals something like Grizzly Wing, that would be amazing because then I get advantages that I need to swing next game. Because as it is right now, I absolutely cannot do anything to win right now because I can't. He's never going to give me enough memory to play something this turn, and I can't play a blocker to get time for next turn. So I think even though he bought himself some time, as long as he can hardcast Digimon with all the memory I gave him, he's fine, and he should be able to win at the very next turn after. Alright, so my opponent got nothing off that Palmon because I saw some cards going to the bottom of the deck. I may have looked away too soon though, I'm not too sure. So he plays Tensamon, so he's fine. He's just hardcasting all his cheap rookies. You know, rookie rush it at the end and you'll be fine. You win. So this should be game. Because then he goes Digimon, just leave me off with 1 memory, which is what Green is so good at doing. Green is fantastic at memory choking you and leaving you only with so little to work with. So it looks like that's going to be game since, unless there's something crazy in security like Grizzly Wing, it doesn't matter. He has 4 cards in hand. I have no unplayed destruction effects that would turn the tide here. So we're just going to go ahead and surrender because that is game. Don't want to drag this out longer than it has to be for either of us. Fantastic game. I lost all my momentum by underestimating the board that it was building up. So that's the thing with green. It spirals way faster out of control if you don't pay attention to it. So that was purple. I'm glad it's really cool to be able to play this now. So many thanks to Evil Sir and all the work he's done on this. And many thanks to you guys for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.